Hi guys, I'm Bill and I cook on YouTube. Today we're doing a fruitcake, and I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about fruitcakes, and I was one of those people. A few years ago my mother-in-law had given us some Christmas cookies, and in it was some fruitcake, and it was delicious. I couldn't believe what I was eating. I asked where the fruitcake was from. She told me. I can't remember the place, but I took a look online at the time. It was like 40 bucks to get this fruitcake, and I wasn't about to shell out $40 for a fruitcake. So this year I'm going to make one. I think I've gotten it down to where I can replicate that fruitcake, and I'm going to share that with you guys today. Okay guys, first thing we're going to do is rehydrate some dried fruit. We're going to need a cup of butter, so that's 2 sticks. Okay, we're going to melt that down. And to the butter we're going to add a half a cup of brown sugar. I have a cup of dates, chopped dates. I have half a cup of dark raisins and half a cup of golden raisins. I have a cup of dried cranberries. Get that nice and incorporated. This step comes first in the order, as you're going to need this mixture to cool down in time for you to mix it in to the rest of the batter. I'm adding a half a cup of orange juice here. You can play around with the liquid that you add to this. You can add water if you wanted. However, some people like to booze it up, and they'll add things like rum or bourbon, orange liqueur. You do what you like. Me, I'm making this kid friendly. Once it approaches a boil, you want to turn down the heat and let it simmer for about 5 minutes, just to really let those fruits reconstitute. This smells this smells amazing right now. Just agitate it a little bit here and there. Right now we're starting to get some bubbling happening right around the edges. It's about ready to boil. There it goes. Now I'm just going to turn down the heat and just let it simmer. You can see some of the fruit starting to plump up. Okay guys, it's been going for 5 minutes now. The liquid in here has thickened up, probably due to some reduction, but mostly the fruit absorbing that liquid. And if you can take a look at that now, that fruit is really nice and plump. We're going to need to set this aside and let cool and come to room temperature. As that takes time to cool down and come to room temperature, we can start working on other components. We can start combining our dry ingredients, for instance, and getting our loaf tins prepared. I went out and I got this mini loaf tin, as I'd like to give some of these out as gifts. You could absolutely use the regular size loaf tins. You could use cupcake tins if you want. What I did is I greased each slot, and then I cut out parchment paper to fill. I cut out 2 pieces. Okay, so I cut a piece out the long way. That goes in there. And then I cut another piece out for horizontally. Okay, and then it just fits right in there. Okay, you'll just line up your parchment paper with the slot and cut appropriately. Okay, let's work on our dry ingredients. Here we have 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of allspice, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ginger, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We also have the zest of a lemon and the zest of an orange, but we're gonna wait for our wet ingredients to add those last 2. Okay, I think that's well incorporated. Now all we have to do is wait on our dried fruit mixture to come down to temp, and then we can work on the wet. Okay, here we have the mixture. It's cooled. You can see that the liquid has thickened some and that the fruit is nice and plump. Smells really good. Now, just like our dry ingredients, we're gonna add in all our wet ingredients. So first things first, we gotta add some holiday fruit. It's 2 cups of candied fruit. So I'll add that in. And as well as a cup of candied cherries or glazed cherries. Now these come in a container, they're whole. I took them out of the container and have them. I have 3 tablespoons of molasses here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in that lemon zest and the orange zest. And then I also have 3 beaten eggs here. Get everyone mixed together nicely. There we go. Okay, we're going to add our wet mixture to our dry mixture. I'm going to do it in stages, just so I can incorporate it better. Get the rest in there. This will make you feel like you're having a workout. Now here I have a cup of nuts. It's half almonds and half walnuts, and they're crushed. You can go any route you want with your nuts. You can do all of one or the other. You can use pecans, whatever you have. Need some serious hand strength for this batter. Now that we have the batter all set and ready to go, we're going to go ahead and put it in our tins. We're going to do the best we can to evenly distribute the batter in the tins. I'm going to take this spoon, kind of form in the batter. Nice tip for this is I took cooking spray and I sprayed the back of the spoon so it wouldn't stick to the spoon. Now I have some halved pecans, and then I also reserved some of the cherries, and I'm going to go ahead and decorate or garnish these tops with the pecans and the cherries. So we want to find the nice whole pecans. And I'm just going to place it on top. I'm going to take a whole cherry and just plop it in place. Maybe not plop it, we'll position it nicely, decoratively, with care. There we go, nice and pretty. Okay, our batch is ready to go in, but first, we're going to place it in another sheet tray, and we're going to pour some water into the tray. That way it's going to steam in the oven and keep the cakes nice and moist. There we go. Now this is going to go into an oven that is set to 300 degrees. Now if these were full-size loaves, we would go about 2.5 hours. But because they're mini loaves, time's going to be cut in half, obviously. So I'm going to start them off at an hour and then check on them. These took a full 2 hours in the oven. I'm going to let them cool overnight before I take them out. Folks, this fruitcake turned out amazing. It came out just the way I wanted it. Really moist, decadent. My wife took a few and wrapped them up in holiday gift bags, ready for gift giving. The batter made 1 extra regular sized loaf, and it was just perfect. I hope you give the recipe a try. I hope you give fruitcake a try. Share it with your friends and enjoy the holidays. Thanks for watching.